You run down on your feature event, 25 laps. On the pole is car number 98, Bud Finale of Jamestown, New York, a 1957 Chevy. Car number 4, Hyle Russell of Kane, PA, a 1956 Chevy. Quick rundown of your points. In first place is 554 with 554 points is Hyle Russell.
Was your interest in racing, was that a family interest, or were you the first guy?
Hung around Hyle Russell's place.
Did you?
Down at his station, yeah. And I never went to the track that much with him, but helped him down at the station. I went and hauled one car home for him.
Wait, little Hyle Russell here. Hyle Russell was born in Winfield, Kansas. He moved his family to Kane as a boy and has lived there ever since the time including time out for service in the Army. Hyle started driving the old sportsman division at Stateline Speedway in '46. While driving in that class, Hyle competed all through western Pennsylvania from Butler to Erie. His car owner during that period was Bud Rose, another Kane resident. In 1955, Hyle switched to the late model division and has seen no reason to leave it. It was while driving for Bud Rose at Stateline Speedway that Hyle was involved in his worst pileup. He rolled his car completely 4 times on the west turn. His car was completely demolished, and although he escaped serious injury, he was shaken badly enough so that he dropped out of competition for the balance of the year. The story he likes to tell, however, concerns the time he rolled the number off the number 3 turn on the now defunct Skyline Speedway during a 100-lapper, returned to the track and finished 10th. Did Hyle talk much about Frank?
Yeah, he did. Frank was, he drove for him, like you say, He was the guy that talked about lighting up a car. Do you remember years way back, and everybody else was making them heavier. He was taking the undercoat off. Someone said, I think you were telling me that. Yeah, they were taking the making them lighter. Everybody else was building them heavy and strong. And he was ahead of his time probably there, 'cause he had some good cars, didn't he? They always had good cars, Roman.
In the best ones.
Yeah, they were the ones that won most, other than Schnarsy.
What do you remember about Hyle Russell?
Just hanging around the garage with him, Yeah, he's a nice guy, quiet, awful quiet. Yeah, real quiet. He just, he was just thin-built guy. He was, he wasn't a big. Some guys fool you, race car drivers, Like Eddie. Who'd ever think Eddie, Eddie was real. We'd be working on a car, Eddie'd be feeling everything, checking the spark plug wires, and we used to kind of laugh about it, but it paid off a lot of times. He'd be a little fidgety, make sure the plug wires are on. Remember that game? He said, leave it alone. They called Eddie the Candy Man. Remember, he made candy.
Candy.
Yeah,
Who are the guys you were looking up to?
Bobby Schnars. My buddy always told me, just watch what Schnars does, and do what he does. That's all you got to do. That sounds easy. Yeah, which it wasn't. Looked like everybody left home up and let him go, We were sitting around a campfire one night at the races, and Jerry, Frank, we were talking about Stateline when it opened up. And Jerry said the first night they opened up, it was everybody got stuck in the field. They had to pull them out. Did you talk to Jerry?
Yeah.
And he said they had to pay out come down to change to pay. And Jerry said, I don't know. He said, Emery man, he said, if we ever finished paying him, if he got all his money or not. So I seen Emery a couple of weeks later. Hey, Emery, I said, Jerry Frank can't remember if he ever. Oh, yeah, he said, he paid us off. He said, he was a good egg, that Emery boy. I really missed him. Yeah. They asked him why he quit racing up there, after he hadn't showed up for a few years. He said, well, they wouldn't wait up for me anymore. Of course, they drove different, It's like today, the late models, they fly in there and jam the brakes on and get right back on the gas. We had to throw it and get back on the gas, and I think it was prettier racing myself, though. It was easier.
Well, I think the crowd enjoyed it more when you.
Yeah. The last guy to try to run that way was Tom Dill, I remember, up Stateline. Everybody else was starting to come in, you know, good brakes, you know, and lightened up flywheels and everything. They'd stop and then go. But he'd swear Tom was going to clean them all up out there practicing, you know. He'd get, you know, on the outside throwing the rooster tails and look at them guys who come in, boom, 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 eat them right up, you know.
Let's talk about Tom Dill. What was his reputation as a driver?
Oh, he said he carried a gun.
Be careful.
There's only one man scarier, was 39, Johnny Whitehead. He'd look over at you and
Is that right?
I don't think he had any teeth or something. He looked pretty scary, you know. He'd
Really?
intimidate you. Johnny Whitehead, yeah. 39, yeah.